Hello, friends. Very good morning to all. This is Vineeth. I think we are good. So let's start our today's session. So today I'm super excited about the session because IELTS is one of my favorite subjects. So I hope that you must be aware of today's agenda, but I'm just quickly going through it again one more time. Number one, why do we need to create a blueprint for IELTS preparation? Is it really needed? Do we need to create a blueprint? And number two, the importance of using online platforms. There are lots of online platforms available. So how can we make use of them? What are the very good platforms? These are the two main things to be discussed in the session today. But before starting our discussion or before starting our session, I just would like you to be really comfortable with asking questions. So whatever questions, whatever concerns that you have, you can send me a message because you can see a little icon on the side. Just click on the icon and just send the messages. So when I see the messages, I will try to answer all the questions with my limited knowledge. But at the same time, just don't worry about the questions. Like don't be don't hesitate to send the messages thinking that my question might not be smart enough or intellectual enough or it might be funny. Doesn't matter. So whatever the questions, whatever the concerns, you can put it in the chat. I'll try to answer all the questions, right? So each session, like we have 2 to 3 parts in the complete session. So in each session, we'll have 5 to 7 minutes pause. So in that time, during that time, you can send your concerns. I'll try to answer all those things. Okay. So what's the relevance of this topic? That's my question. So as we all know that we used to go to very good training centers and get trained with the help of very good professionals. I mean, experienced IELTS trainers. So there are lots of IELTS trainers, and we had a lot of training centers. Still, we have lots of training centers, and they cannot open the training center right now. So what we used to do is to go to the training centers and get trained. But what is today's situation? So what is today's condition? That makes the relevance of this topic. Why do we need to create a blueprint for IELTS preparation? We have to set up our own environment at home itself, and we have to push ourselves to sit in the environment. So I'll tell you how to create. I'll explain about how to create an environment, how to set it up at home. That's how. That's today's main agenda. So we have two options in front of us. Number one, wait until the situation gets better. That is the easiest solution. So number one, let me repeat. Number one, wait until the situation gets better. Number two, find out other methods to achieve our goals. So what is better? I believe the second option is the wise decision, right? So we have to find out other solutions. If one solution doesn't work out, then we have to think about other solution and go for that, right? So we'll go through those two topics. So let's start. And today there are some people who are really good at English. They keep watching English programs. They keep reading English books. They are very much exposed to English. And this kind of people and these types of people, they don't need any kind of blueprint or any kind of training. They need exactly nothing else. They can simply go through the modules. What are the modules? Just 1 2 3 4. Just go through the modules and take the test. They will get the score because IELTS is not a big deal. It's just about English. They ask you simple questions. Where do you come from? Talk about your city. Talk about your place. Talk about the place you like. Talk about the place you wish to like. So you can talk anything. And of course, the essay topics are a little different, but still it's okay. So IELTS is not a big deal, but at the same time, there are some people, not some people, there are several people who are not very much exposed to English, and they may have a bit difficult to reach a score of 8,777. That is the requirement, I think, today. So 8 is not an intermediate. I mean, 8 is not a score an intermediate person, and the person who has the intermediate level can achieve easily. It is known as expert user score. So 8 is, you have to be really expert in English to get 8. 7 is, of course, a good user score. So maybe 8 or 7. These are the two band scores today that you are supposed to achieve to migrate to a country like Canada. And this session, today's session, is exclusively for those kinds of people. So let's start with setting up a training center at home. That's the main topic today, how to set up a training center at home. How can we set up this training program, or how can we set up a real environment at home? Because this environment is really important. It matters. It matters a lot. So let's take a look at the training center, right? What does training center do? Exactly what do they do? What do these IELTS training centers do? They create a well-disciplined English environment, and they force you to sit in it. That is the core method. Every IELTS institutes follow. That's what I have been following. That's what I used to follow when I was in India. So the same thing we can set up at home, right? In the training centers, we get good trainers. They are well experienced and they know how to prepare you well, and they know what kinds of materials to be given. They know everything about that because they've been doing this for a long time, for years. So they can help you very well. But what is today's situation? Can we go to a training center? Can we go to a trainer's house to get trained on IELTS? That's not at all possible. So here comes the importance of setting up a training center at home, and making use of the online platforms. So what things to be taken into consideration while setting up a study center at home? This is my first question. So there are certain things to be taken into serious consideration when you set up a training center at home itself. That is called a blueprint. So before preparing, or before going into an examination, before joining a course, we do some groundwork, or we do some preparations, right? So before rock climbing, we have to do some preparations, right? So the same thing. It is not very easy to set up a training center at home, or an environment, setting up an environment at home. This is what I meant, the blueprint of IELTS preparation. So before starting your preparation, you have to prepare a very good blueprint with you, what to prepare, how to prepare, and what things to be taken care of, and how can I prepare, what kind of materials I can use, how much time I can dedicate on my training. So these all things to be listed, right? So number one, this is a very important topic. Number one, avoid distractions and stay focused. That is the first agenda. That is the first mantra I can say that you have to keep in your mind. Avoid distractions and stay focused. And what are the distractions while focusing on IELTS? That is main thing. So what I would say is anything not related to English are all distractions. For example, if you listen to an old melody in your local language, you'll for sure you will get distracted. And it's really hard to get your mind back to English atmosphere. So that avoid watching local channels, reading local newspapers, hanging out with friends. Try to stay away from all kinds of distractions and get into an English environment. For example, if you have a room, sit in the room with all required equipment, laptop, English books, and other study materials. This is what you need to do. And if you don't have a room, get a study table and a good headset. Make sure that it covers both the ears. This will indicate to others that you are engaged in something really serious, so they won't disturb you. So these are the two things. One, you have to set up an environment. If you have a room, sit in the room with all the required equipment, laptop, English books, CDs, and whatever things you have, set up everything and sit in the room all the time. Feel that you are in an English mansion. Try to be in the environment as much as possible, because this environment will lift you up. This is what all the IELTS training centers do. They set up an environment for you and they ask you to pay, then they force you to sit in the environment. They provide different kinds of materials, of course, for reading, listening, and of course speaking. These are the modules that you do your own research and you get trained with the books, right? So this is what I meant, a blueprint of a kind of environment. So once everything is ready, once the room is ready, or if the table is ready, your environment is ready. So this is the way how to set up your environment. And once the environment is ready, then we need some students as well, because it is nice to be with like-minded people, in the sense there are some people, that not some people, there are lots of people who are doing a lot of work to get migrated to a country like Canada and other countries. So if you have a group of people, just create a group, create a WhatsApp group, and get in touch with these guys, interact with them, and just when you start, right from the morning, start your studies, start your programs. So just send a message on the WhatsApp group, and just get in touch with all these like-minded people. That is very, very important. So let me just repeat two things. Number one, set up an environment at home itself, with the laptop, with the study materials, with all the stuff. And the second thing, just create a group of like-minded people. So you have to be engaged with them. So you have to get in touch with these people. Once you get a little demoted, then you can get in touch with those people. They are highly encouraged. Then this positivity, this positive energy is being shared, then you can keep yourself motivated. So these are the two things: mainly set up at home and be ready with the environment. So now we are all set the environment. Once the environment is set, next important thing is guidance. So if, let's say, you keep writing essays, you keep speaking to your friends, and you interact with others in English, and of course in English, but nobody is there to correct you, nobody is there to give you feedback. So that's a simple task, not a simple task, bit that's a great challenge that we have to face. So what's the solution for that? What's the solution? Get the trainers. So here comes the importance of online platforms. We have a lot of online platforms today. So make use of all these online platforms. Number one, if you want to get a trainer, an online trainer, it is possible. You can do your own research on the internet and get a professional trainer and get your training with them. So that is one of the ways. And especially you need training on only on one module, that is writing. Listening you can do on your own. Reading you can do it, and you can check all the answers. You can find out how the answer, what happened to the answer, why it was wrong. All the explanations, everything is given at the back of the paper, at the back of the textbook. So you can do your own research on, and you can do it by yourself. Speaking, of course, you can record your speech and listen to that again, and you can understand what happened and how can I improve. But writing is the part where you need some guidance, where you need some corrections. You have to get continuous key feedback on writing. And writing is the part where we need to get some explanations about how to write, what things to be done, what things to be added. So for this, we need some online support. So let me just tell you some of the very good online platforms. Number one, Udemy. That is one of the best online platforms you can make use of. Udemy is the platform where most of the IT engineers, they do all the IT courses from Udemy itself. And if you want to do a writing course, you can take a course from Udemy costing around $10 to $20. Get the course. So these are the courses designed by very good trainers, international trainers, and just pay the amount and get the course. So these courses are really good. You can check, you can see the preview of the course, and if you are satisfied, if you are comfortable with the course, if you are comfortable with the language, and if you are comfortable with the way the presentation that the trainer, the way he presents, and if you are comfortable with everything, you can go for that course and do all the all the sections, because these courses are designed with section by section. These are fantastic courses, awesome courses. So make use of one very good online platform, that is called Udemy. Udemy means U Academy, or you, and that is. I will share all the links after this session, or you can reach out to CanApprove. They can give you all the links, and I will share all these documents with them, or at the end of the session, or when we have the interactive session, I can share these details. So that's good. Number two, next online platform is well known, that is YouTube. You can use YouTube, because we can see there are wide varieties of courses. There are grammar courses, there are IELTS methods, modules, everything is explained on YouTube. So watch YouTube channels, subscribe to one of the best channels, and just start studying and make use of this platform as well. So three things. If you want, get assistance from online live trainers. Number two, get some courses from Udemy or or some other platforms. The best platform that I know is Udemy. That's why I just want to share it with you. Udemy. Number three, subscribe to good YouTube channels. So these are the very good methods. And get some books. I'll tell you which book or which book you need to buy. Okay, so these are all about the preparations for IELTS and blueprint for IELTS. The first one, the environment. Second one, distractions. Avoid all distractions and try to sit in the environment for the whole 24 hours if you can. I would say so, because this is not going to be a long. This is going to be it lasts for only 2 to 3 months or maximum 4 months. So try to sit in the environment for 3 months. Take a short time pain for the long term pleasure. So that's why I'm telling you that dedicate your invest your time, and you have to be dedicated and determined. So 2 to 3 months, dedicate your time and sit in the environment, get in touch with like-minded people, never ever get distracted, and create your own plans, reading, writing, listening, all the plans, schedule some time and organize these all things. So this is all about the online platforms and an idea about the preparation and an idea about the blueprint. And thank you very much for listening to me, and good luck for everybody. Thank you very much again.